Hey everyone, so I'm doing something a little bit different with this what if. Instead of spreading it out over multiple parts, I'm going to knock out this scenario in one good long video, so I hope you enjoy. Our story begins after the death of Qui-Gon Jinn. Obi-Wan would request that he take Anakin as his Padawan learner. However, Yoda would say no. But before Kenobi could protest the answer, Yoda would assure him that Qui-Gon's dying wish would be granted. Anakin would be a Jedi, but he would be trained by someone older and wiser than Kenobi. Yoda would explain that defeating Maul, a Sith Lord, was a feat that no living Jedi could claim, but that did not mean Kenobi was ready for a Padawan of his own. Kenobi would accept this and go on to finish his Padawan training without rushing into taking an apprentice of his own. The Council would have many options to pick from when it came to Anakin's master, but they would ultimately choose Mace Windu. Anakin's old age, fear, and attachments would require a firm master. This was Mace Windu, but they would also take the Chosen One prophecy into consideration. If Anakin was the Chosen One, as Qui-Gon claimed, he would need a powerful master who could help him reach the potential needed to fulfill this prophecy. And Windu would be the best option, as there were even some within the Order that thought he was the Chosen One. Mace embodied balance between the dark side and the light side. He was unique from other Jedi in that he had learned to draw from the dark side, but not be consumed by it. Through this broad knowledge of the Force, he even created a variation of the seventh form of lightsaber combat called Vapad. This allowed Mace to draw from the dark side of his opponent and send it back to them. Under Mace's tutelage, Anakin would become a powerful Jedi, learning to use Force powers that even Obi-Wan hadn't learned yet. Mace would be keen on teaching a broader understanding of the Force. In addition, Anakin would adopt Form 7 and begin learning to use Vapad for himself. As the Clone Wars approached, Anakin would become a Jedi Knight, unrivaled by any. He had even surpassed Obi-Wan, who was like a brother to him. And when the time came for Jedi Protectors to be assigned to Padme Amidala, Palpatine would still push that Kenobi and Skywalker be the ones assigned to her. This would be key in turning Anakin for Palpatine. However, because Mace was a master with very little tolerance for Anakin's attachments, Anakin would not be tempted by Padme, or at least as much as he was in Attack of the Clones. In fact, he would be more eager to follow the toxic dark lead to Kamino than escorting Padme to Naboo, because this was a way for him to prove himself to Master Windu. Kenobi would escort Padme back to Naboo, where there would be no awkward romance, and Anakin would travel to Kamino, where he would meet Jango Fett and discover the clone army. However, because Anakin had adopted Mace Windu's ability to take action, he would apprehend Jango the moment he met him. He would explain to the shocked Kaminoans that Jango was wanted for questioning regarding the attempted assassination of a Republic senator. Returning to Coruscant, the Council would interrogate Jango. Because Jango was a bounty hunter, he would trade information about Count Dooku and the Separatists for his freedom. Knowing about the clone army and the Separatist base on Geonosis, Mace Windu would still lead a team of Jedi to Geonosis. Only this time, because there were no prisoners to rescue, they would have more time to bring the freshly acquired clone army along with them. Before leaving, the Jedi Council would call Obi-Wan and Padme back to Coruscant, as Jango had informed them that there were no more planned attempts on the Senator's life. Yoda would take Kenobi with him to Kamino, while the rest of the Jedi prepared for the battle. Padme's return to Coruscant would also create the perfect moment for Anakin and Padme to spark a connection. Padme would see Anakin as the powerful Jedi who had saved her, rather than the little boy from Tatooine. She would begin to fall for him, and in time their story would play out similar to the original timeline. But for now, Anakin, Mace, and the rest of the Jedi would head for Geonosis, where they would rendezvous with Yoda, Obi-Wan, and the clone army. The Battle of Geonosis would be swift. The Republic's surprise attack would leave the Separatists scrambling. While Obi-Wan and Yoda commanded the clone army, Anakin and Mace would head straight for the Geonosis hangar, where they would confront Dooku. The duel would easily play out in the Jedi's favor, as they were both skilled in Vapad. The power that Dooku drew from the dark side would only be thrown right back at him by Mace and Skywalker. They would quickly defeat Dooku. During the duel, Mace would notice that Anakin was losing control. Had he not been there to keep him in check, Anakin would have surely murdered Dooku in cold blood. However, both Jedi would be able to defeat Dooku and bring him back to Coruscant alive. The Clone War would fizzle out quickly after the Battle of Geonosis, but there would still be the mystery of the Sith to solve. The Council would interrogate the former Jedi Dooku, who would not tell them anything. In his frustration, Anakin would visit Dooku where he was being held and torture him with the Force. Unfortunately, he would lose control and end up breaking Dooku's mind. The Council would soon discover what Anakin had done. Furious that their chosen one had committed such a vicious crime, they would deny Anakin any advancement within the Jedi Order. However, Mace would take a different approach. Understanding what it was like to be tempted by this power of anger, he would pull his apprentice aside. Windu would instruct Anakin in the importance of balance. A Jedi must understand the dark side, but they must not use it more than necessary. Now, during all of this, Palpatine would still be working to lure the Jedi's chosen one to his side. He would not have the Clone Wars to execute his plan to its fullest potential, but he would still aim to turn Anakin. He would continue to feed Anakin's ego by telling him that he was the most gifted Jedi he had ever seen. Eventually, he would tip his hand and reveal himself as the Sith Lord. Anakin's reaction would be similar to what it was in Revenge of the Sith. Palpatine would offer to teach Anakin the ways to save his loved ones from dying, but since Mace had helped Anakin deal with attachments, Anakin would be less tempted by the Sith Lord. Now, because Anakin did not go to Tatooine to save his mother earlier on, he did not even know she was in danger, and his attachment with Padme had not fully formed yet, as it would take much longer for them to fall in love without going to Naboo together. Palpatine had very little to tempt Anakin with, so Anakin would return to the temple where he would speak with Master Windu. And because his master trusted his apprentice, he would allow Anakin to come with him as they faced Palpatine together. The two would enter the Sith Lord's office and declare his arrest. Palpatine would ignite his two lightsabers and engage the Jedi in battle. Despite Anakin and Mace both mastering the Vipod, Palpatine would be a difficult fight, as he was fueled by unbridled rage that his plans had fallen apart. The Chancellor's office would be lit up with flashes of red and purple as the three powerful Force users battled for the fate of the galaxy. In the end, the two Jedi would kick Palpatine to the ground, and simultaneously they would raise their lightsabers and end the Sith once and for all. As you can imagine, peace would return to the galaxy and the Republic would rebuild. Anakin and Padme would eventually fall in love and give birth to Luke and Leia. The Council would be shocked as Anakin told them about the twins, but they would learn to accept this, even admitting that many of their views towards attachment were outdated. And Luke and Leia would be trained from birth. At the conclusion of this conflict, Anakin would be awarded a seat on the Jedi Council with his master Windu and his friend Obi-Wan Kenobi. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed my version of What If Mace Windu Trained Anakin. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and leave a comment below telling me which Jedi Master you would have liked to see train Anakin Skywalker. As always, I hope you have a great day, and may the Force be with you.